question too that came in. Um, you mentioned Google and about with article marketing getting good visibility on Google. Google likes fresh content. Is that correct?
Google likes what? Sorry, could you just repeat that?
Google likes fresh content.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I mean the idea with article marketing is to do it on a consistent basis. So we recommend for a website that you're outputting between 4 and 8 articles a month. So that's going to constantly put fresh content into Google. But what we have on Submit Your Article is a feature called Article Leverage, which actually allows you to vary every article that goes out. You put in variations for certain elements within that article, such as variations on the title, various sentences within the article. And every time we send that article to a publisher in our network, we vary the article slightly so it's different each time it goes out. It's optional for people to use, but it's very effective in terms of making sure that each version of the article going out is different from another version. And not only kind of benefits you in terms of that, it's also good because you'll find that people search the slightly varying queries as well, and you'll get more visibility for an article just because a search query for it is slightly different, and it might pick up on one of the variations in the article.
Yes, and I know the way that it's done too, as well as the articles, the different variations are still high quality because of the way that it's done. It doesn't look like some computer spun article.
Absolutely, yes.
So can you explain what makes a good article and how somebody should write articles? So you started with the keyword research. What would go next in terms of writing a good article?
I think the title is the most important element in a way, because it's similar to a headline really on the sales page, where you've got a couple of seconds really if that to catch somebody's attention, if they're looking for an article directory, for example, or publishers are scanning articles, to find out what to publish in their e-zine. The title has to kind of catch their attention in some way. And I found that how-to articles and list type articles are really effective for that. They're very attractive to readers. For example, you might have top 5 tips to do something, or 6 ways to do something else. And to include that, the keyword term that you're focusing on as well. Always try and focus on a specific keyword term within the article and keep it in the title. And make sure it's in the first paragraph and somewhere else in the article as well. Don't overdo it. You've got to keep it very natural, and just make sure it's incorporated into the article. And the main thing for the article itself is really to keep it informational rather than promotional. We get a lot of people coming through to submityourarticle.com who can't resist the temptation of promoting their website throughout the article, and that is really just something that does not work at all. It's not what publishers want to publish. Any promotional stuff should just be in the resource box at the end, and the article itself should really kind of be high quality information that over delivers really good quality information within your niche, and just establishes you really as an expert on your topic. And it's only if you do that that firstly publishers are going to be interested in what you're writing about, and secondly readers that are not going to be turned off by a sales hype message throughout. They don't really want to read an advertorial. They just want to read really good quality information, and in doing that you get their trust. They start to believe in you, and then they're much more likely to click through at the end. It's also important to remember that the majority of the time people are going to be reading these articles online, and it's important to make to be aware of the readability issues online. So you don't want big chunks of text that people just don't want to wade through. People skim a lot online, so it's important to have the short, snappy kind of sentences, really short paragraphs, just a sentence or two, and make it really easy for people to scan through. And I think that's where list type articles work as well. Lots of bullet points. They're very similar really to constructing a good sales letter again. If you're studying kind of how to write, how to copyright, I think it'd be well placed to write good articles that people want to read, that you can read all the way through, and get to the resource box and click through.
Right, right. So you talked about, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, how often should business owners be posting articles to article directories, and you said about 4 to 8 articles a month. And how many article submission sites should they be posting to? Just 1 or 50 or how many?
I'd really recommend to sort of give the article to as many directories as you can, to as many sites as you can. Firstly, because you don't know where people are going to go to look through for articles, especially e-sign publishers. They could pick it up on site A or site B. You just need to kind of get them out there. It's really important to give them a really wide exposure, and Google especially, might pick up on a certain article on one site and not another one of your articles, but your article might get picked up by Google on another website. So it really depends, really.
Right. So it's kind of like the shotgun approach. It's just as many as you can, many directories as you can find out there.
Yeah, and I think the idea is really just to give each article, as much exposure as you can give it, really. In terms of how many you should do, a lot of people, the 4 to 8 articles might sound like a lot to start with, but I'd really recommend to most people that the most important factor is really to keep it consistent and to build it from a level that you feel you can manage on a consistent basis. So if it's only 2 articles a month, that's fine. Just do sort of 1 a fortnight, and then as you get into the swing of it, you'll find that the articles and the ideas keep coming in, the writing becomes more natural, and you get into the hang of doing it, and to build it up gradually from there, but not to try and sort of overkill to start with and really kill off all your motivation for doing it. Start at a level you can manage and build up from there.
So it's better to do like maybe 1 article a month, but you're doing it consistently than do like 4 articles for 2 months and then you stop for 8 months.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We find a lot of people sort of start off in a big surge and just run out of steam by month 2, and kind of give it up because they're fed up with doing it and want to try the next new technique that comes along. So the most important thing is to have a consistent system in a way. I mean, what we do at submityourarticle.com, we've got a really good blog there, and what we do is we regularly post to the blog, and then those blog posts are kind of adapted into articles that are then distributed. So there's a real system there that goes through, and it makes it easy to keep it going, month to month. But the consistency is the really big factor, really.
Right. So can you explain, you mentioned this before, keyword research, in a couple of different things in terms of, how to come up with what to write in terms of an article, and also how do you write a good article? What is